When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Or if you're talking about the remake, they'll run the earth. Dawn of the Dead, the 1978 classic from filmmaker George Romero. Serving as a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead focuses on the escalating situation of the zombie apocalypse, which has the world in a global panic at this point. And people everywhere are rising from the grave to seek the flesh of the living. And like the rules for any and all Romero zombie movies, any human being who dies after the onset of the zombie apocalypse can and will animate shortly after death, excluding those who died by a massive brain trauma, such as a gunshot wound to the head, or had their brain incapacitated post-mortem. Being bitten by a zombie is not a prerequisite for returning to life, as any deceased human, regardless of exposure to a zombie, will return upon death. No Romero film has definitively revealed the cause of reanimation, but several have featured characters speculating on possible causes, like in Night when they said it might be radiation from an explosion of a NASA probe, to this movie where Ken Foree says something about how God might be punishing the inhabitants of Earth, or something like that. The length of time between death and reanimation seems to vary, but in most instances it is only a few minutes. But moving on, this story throws the setting and characters of Night completely out the window, in favor of a new group of banded together misfits trying to survive the apocalypse, who use their helicopter to escape one shithole in favor of the most awesome shopping mall on the planet, in the 70s at least. And when I say sequel, that's another weird thing about the Dead movies, is according to Romero, who has either said or implied what I'm about to say in Fangoria magazine years ago, or some shit. The movies in his Dead series are in fact related and are sequels to one another. However, the time gaps between when the films were made do not reflect the amount of time covered from film story to film story. Do you follow? I'm pretty sure Dawn takes place a few days after Night, and Day takes place a few years after Dawn. And we know that Diary of the Dead takes place concurrently with Night, and Survival of the Dead would have to take place sometime around, if not concurrently, with Dawn. Confused a little bit? You'll figure it out. Anyways, we have our survivors. Another lead blonde female who's wimpy at the start and becomes slightly less wimpy over the course of the movie. We have a strong lead black male. We have a helicopter pilot who shan't ever be referred to as anything else besides Flyboy, ever. And we have some other cool blonde cop dude who's a cool blonde cop dude, and we have our setting. The shopping mall. The mall is huge. It's gargantuan. It's 2 stories. There's this awesome mall music they put on halfway through the film that will get stuck in your head worse than Jingle Bells will. Only it kicks ass, so it doesn't matter. There's zombies all over the damn mall, just chilling. Walking into the pond areas, falling off escalators, slipping on the ice rink, all kinds of shit. And the zombies are blue and green. They don't look rotten at all, really. Well, maybe this guy did, but that's about it. But they're all really just humans painted green and blue and gray. Kinda weird, but the movie kicks ass, so I suppose I can look past that. And speaking of zombies, they are dealing with a shit ton of zombies outside that mall. We're talking hordes and hordes of dead people, which progressively grow in numbers throughout the course of the film, which is cool, pretty cool. Guess it's good we have this sweet-ass playground to be locked inside of, except for when bikers come and trash the place. That's never good. Or if you have a bitchy pregnant chick with you, or a flyboy who can't aim for shit, then that might still be some issues to work out, but whatever. The movie overall is just more fun than Night. It's serious, but presented in a more comic bookish way than Night was. We know shit's gone down and these people are in danger of being eaten by rotting cannibals, but we're shown the situation in a way that makes it seem more like an adventure movie, with quite a lot of comedy, surprisingly. It's a roller coaster ride through the first big wave of the zombie apocalypse. That's what it is. There's still hope that someday, somewhere, someday, we're gonna have to get through this thing. So let's party and ride it out at the shopping mall until it happens. It's always fun. But the gore in the movie, don't even get me started. It looks like bright apple red paint. It doesn't even look like human blood at all. Not even a little bit, actually. Just like a lot of those 70s movies, man, the blood looked like melted ketchup instead of real human blood. It's not deep, dark, almost black like real human blood. But that's a small thing to nitpick in a film that's clearly not meant to shock and awe in the serious way Night did. It's meant to shock and awe in a psycho 70s acid trip kind of way. And Romero even said the color of the blood lent to the comic book frenetic tone of the film. So I can't hate here, I'm just saying. I think the film would have been scarier if it had featured some better makeup, but what are you gonna do? The film still manages to accomplish what it set out to do, and that is give us a better, deeper look into the early days of the zombie apocalypse, and refine what we thought we knew about it from the minimalistic tone of Night of the Living Dead. The acting, for the most part, is awesome, and I'm looking directly towards Ken Foree when I say that. The pacing is great, it has a long, drawn-out, epic scope feel to it. It's got some great imagery and shots, and the visual style just screams 70s. The action sequences kick ass, the music kicks ass. It's just all around one of the best examples of a good zombie movie. Nonetheless, a good example of a great horror movie, period, to ever grace the silver screen. And I could see why it came out and became that one out of Romero's Dead movies that really stuck with audiences over the decades. Of course, you have the Night fans who just can't get away from that film. But Dawn of the Dead is the cult favorite. It is the Dead film to a lot of the fans. And with that, I will say with a smile on my face that Dawn of the Dead earns itself a perfect score. 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen this movie and call yourself a pop culture enthusiast, then you're not only lying to everybody else, but you're lying to yourself. So, Dawn of the Dead 1978, have you seen it? And if so, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Tobatto2287. And as always, zombie lovers, thanks for watching.